Hi everyone, this is Rajashekar. This is my first YouTube video where I am speaking live in front of you. I just read the book The Robots Are Coming by Andres Oppenheimer, which is right over here. And this book seemed to be very interesting for me, and hence I've made this video so that you can be familiar about what this book is about and the contents of this book. Coming to the book, as the title suggests, the book is about the robots are coming. Yes, you heard it right. The robots are coming for journalists, service workers, bankers, lawyers, doctors, teachers, and factory workers, and most importantly, for entertainers. The book was written by Andres Oppenheimer, and it was written in Spanish, and it was later translated to English. It is a 400-page book, and it is really interesting to know about the future in this book. The book says that the job which you're doing, if it is easily explainable to others, then it is easily replaceable. The jobs, for example, in medicine, dermatology, for example, looking at the skin in dermatology, the dermatologist would look into the skin and would say that whether the skin is cancerous or not. If the skin is cancerous, then he would suggest to go for treatment. This kind of thing is repetitive and it can be done using some smart devices like a smartphone. For example, you can take a smartphone, scan your skin, and find out whether the spot in the skin is cancerous or not. And then you can go to a cancer specialist who can treat you for cancer. The job of a dermatologist is in danger if he is going to only diagnose whether the skin is cancerous or not. For example, if the dermatologist has additional skill of treating cancerous skin, then his job is in safe hands. On the other hand, a cardiologist, the cardiologist has to manufacture pacemakers. If the cardiologist has the skill to manufacture pacemakers, then he can 3D print his own pacemaker, customized for the patient, and then fit it in his heart. For this, the cardiologist has to know some part of engineering which would help him to make a 3D printed pacemaker which he can later fit it into a patient's heart. For this, if he is dependent on another person, then his role would be in danger. If he is more into a little into engineering, and if he is able to make a pacemaker of his own and fit into the patient's heart, then he would be of greater demand. Now coming to the ranking of the most threatened jobs in the world. This is done by Ferry and Osborne's algorithm. The jobs would be replaced by robots, drones, autonomous vehicles, and intelligent machines. The 99% of the jobs in the world which are done by telemarketers and library technicians will be replaced by automation. In the next 15 to 20 years, the administrative employees, bank loan officers, insurance agencies, sports umpires, which everyone would be furious about because in the recent World Cup finals there was a umpiring error and it led to the wrong decision, and it turned out to be the errors at the end, and the umpires would be replaced by automation, and this would bring in a lot of scope for better umpiring skills, and the sports would be much more interesting and will be properly administered. The next 97% of the jobs in the area of phone operators, stores people, that is people who are in the stores and telling people where the object is or the product is for the customers, would be replaced by a simple tablet or a humanoid robot, and real estate brokers, cashiers, etc. will be replaced. And 96% of the chefs, receptionists, and storytellers will be replaced by automation. Robots will be everywhere for the first time. Technology is growing faster than employment. From the techno optimist point of view, printing press and automotive industry created more jobs. ATM machines did not make the job of the banker to go extinct. Amazon buys more robots at the same time employs more people. According to the techno optimists, the job lies in the indirect market. That is, there are a lot of indirect jobs which are created by the automation. Bill Gates said that the government should tax robots, which means that the robots should be taxed, and from that money it can be paid to the people who are unemployed, which is his concept. Some jobs will disappear, but most of the jobs will become transformed. Everything will become cheaper. There will be a boom in employment and not in unemployment. Housing, transportation, and food will be cheaper forever. Automation will make our work better. For example, the life expectancy can be improved. The poverty will decrease. The infant mortality will decrease. The education will be provided to all because of the following reasons which I come further in this video. You will get more time to spend with the family because of automation, because the robots will be doing work for you and you can get a lot of time to spend with the family. There will be lesser wars in the world because the crime rate will decrease and there will be less violence. The quality of life of people will increase and the time taken for people to travel from work to home and home to work will drastically reduce. Coming to doctors, doctors will suggest patients apps, that is applications on mobile phones, based on which the patients can take medicines and cure themselves, which will obviously be monitored by the doctor. The healthcare at home. The healthcare will be done at home and not at the hospital. Number of hospitals might get reduced because of automation and people will be treated at home at doorstep. Dermatologists and radiologists are the people who are most affected, who will be most affected by automation. Cardiologists will have to learn a lot of technology, only then they will be able to survive in a more efficient way. Psychiatrists and physiotherapists need not worry about this because their jobs are not repetitive and they need to listen to people, and no algorithm can replace a robot. Elderly people would require pets as robots, and they would require them beside them so that they could enjoy their old days. Coming to journalists, the disappearance of designers and editors and translators soon bound to happen. The computer keyboards will disappear in the next 5 to 10 years because there will be a lot of speech to text softwares which will actually type down all the phrases, and there won't be any need of keyboard. Political and economical analysis could be taken by computer algorithm. There won't be any analysis requirement for analysts because the computer algorithm would say what would happen next and based on the decisions taken in the past. At Washington Post, the robots, the bots are already writing articles covering sports in the covering sports during live is will be done by robots. The most important and interesting thing which was told in the book is that the radios will gain importance and will be used very much. And the question is that whether TV will exist in the future, because there are a lot of smart devices and TV might get extinct. Fewer cameramen and soundmen are needed in the future because this can be auto-tuned by the robots, and there will be new stars emerging on channels like YouTube where people would like to see them and would gain importance. Computer will increase the journalist capacity but will never replace them. This is what is the conclusion for journalists. Coming to service workers, many workers in Japan, that is the chefs in the hotels, have been replaced by robots. Robots make about 400 hamburgers per hour, which is hardly impossible to make by humans at any point of time in the future. Robots also are used to make pizza. Tablets are replacing servers. Tablets is a smartphone kind of device which are placed on the instead of a menu card, which are replacing the servers. Hot food vending machines are coming into picture. Restaurants, most interestingly, will be hiring engineers and data analysts for analyzing data in the past and predicting the requirement in the future so that the right amount of food can be bought and the food will not be wasted. Writers, photographers, and videographers will be required by the restaurants so that they can project their food in a very good way and they can gain importance. Salespeople and will become consultants in the hotels and will help in selling of the product food items. The hotels will need social media outlets so that they can sell their food by posting attractive pictures in the future. Now coming to the bankers. Bankers and branches will be merged in the future and about 50% of them would be cut off. In India and Latin America, this rate will be slower. The end of the caste system is bound to happen. Denmark, in Denmark, the bank robbers are leaving empty-handed because there are no cash in the bank and they have to leave empty-handed. Virtual banks are coming up which are helping a lot of people. Blockchain will change the banking industry. Bankers of the future should be data analysts. Coming to lawyers, judgments passed by the judges are now under controversy. Some judges may not be able to look at the past and predict the future, but based on the data in the system, robots may be able to predict the judgment passed and will be able to say a proper judgment, taking into consideration the past happenings and the future happenings, and will be able to pass a good judgment. That is what the author feels. Robots will be able to pick the best lawyer for you, and there will be a lot of websites which will be able to do the task for you. Now coming to teachers. Teachers profession is not in danger, but they will not be as teachers of today. They will become motivators, counselors, and personal therapists. The role of virtual reality will be of most importance in future. The primary mission of a teacher would be to help children and find their passion. And most importantly, finding one's passion in the school level is very important for the students to survive in the environment today. The second mission of the teacher should be to promote curiosity and improve them right from the small age. The third important thing should be to teach persistence and grit. Ethics and empathy can also be taught. Schools at high school must teach teamwork. The return of vocational schools are bound to happen because there are a lot of robot technicians who would be needed to repair robots in the future. This rise of the online education is bound to happen. The future of universities would be 50% face to face and 50% online. In short, we will be lifelong students. Coming to factory workers, the factory workers would be the most affected ones because of semi-automation and full automation. The semi-autonomous cars are already located on the roads of California. The self-driving cars will be the cheaper in future and most people will prefer to buy it. The first self-driving concept would be affecting the truck drivers and they would be the first to feel the impact. Self-driving pizza delivery cars are already on the roads. Drones for delivery. For example, these days people are delivering products through on road via scooters. In future, drones will be used to deliver the products at home. The drones would fly, come and drop the your parcel at your location and move on. From mass production to individualized production is bound to happen. Mass production days are going to end, and might end at for some products, and individualized, customized production would is bound to start. Unmanned factories are going to happen. Technicians are required at a large number. Coming for entertainers, robot circus. You might be very interested in normal circus done by humans. Robot circus are going to increase in robot street shows would be really interesting, and it is going to happen. Robot competitions are going to happen, and it is going to be like a sport activity, and new channels might open especially for robots and telecast these shows. Robot movies have already been released, and more robot movies are going to be might be released in the future. Robots would play instruments like tabla or guitar and would entertain people. Gym, sports, and accessories would be uh, used by the robots to entertain us, and it would be like a personal trainer for people. Tourism department would get a boost by getting robots to serve people. Young people have to invent their own jobs. We should have a plan B, plan C, plan D, and so on, so that whenever we are stuck in a situation, we would move forward. Jobs of the future. Coming to the jobs of the future, the book has listed 10 jobs which would be very good and would survive in the future. The healthcare assistants is one among them. Data analysts and data engineers is one among them. Digital security guards, sales consultants, robot maintenance technicians and programmers, teachers and professors, alternate energy specialists, artists, athletes, product designers, creative writers, spiritual counselors are the people who will be among those in the future. I hope I hope everyone should read this book. Those robots are coming, and post your suggestions and feedback about the book in the comments below.